What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for jumping into a video. My name is Josh, and I am just your average Joe day trader. Today is Thursday, August 21st. I had to look at my watch to make sure I got the right date. And the market is pretty much sideways. So most of what I've tracked through the night, and if you have watched my videos before and you understand my strategy as a retail day trader, I do the box strategy, which allows me to basically place the day prior's trading in a box. You have the highest point to the lowest point of the day's trading, and I use that as my support and resistance levels for the next day. And it usually works pretty good. BBAI is a great example. It's been running pretty much within the top resistance and my mid-range support level, and it's just sort of sitting there all day long. And so BBAI for me today would not be a stock I would get into to trade because there's not enough movement in it for me to, basically hit my goal or make the type of profit I want to make out of a stock. But then I continue to go to this list right here, and I pick and choose each morning the stocks that are running strong, and have not, through the pre-market or even after the opening bell, been rejected at that resistance level and potentially have a breakthrough. So there's many stocks that have done that, and then there's many stocks that have not. Today, there's many more stocks that have not than have done it. Today, I day traded APLD. I was happy to get back into APLD a little bit. It's kind of high in price, but I was able to get in at about $15.83, which was already sort of halfway, late to the game, late to the party. But I rode it all the way up to 16.25, saw the turn, got out at 16.20, and took my profit on that one. And then it ran all the way down to like 1560 something, 1550 something. I'm not sure where it's at now, but it did turn and run all the way down. The other thing I've been riding a lot of today is the SQQQ. And that is basically the inverse for the SPY. And if you don't know about that, then I definitely recommend go watch this video right here. I talk all about how you can play the SPY. And if you're not an options trader, I don't like to do options trading. I've been learning how to do options and more about the technicals to options. But if you don't like to do options, you like to stick with shares, then this is the right way to go, because there are several stocks that run with the S&P 500 at a much cheaper price per share. And there's stocks that run against the SPY, meaning that when the SPY is going down, this one's going up. Well, this is the one, the SQQQ, that runs up when the SPY is going down. Today's been a day where the S&P 500 has been on a run down. So for the most part, I'm in the green solid, just waiting to see what's happening. Probably not going to sell out of it tonight because it's going to run down through the night, I believe. And then tomorrow, we've got my buddy right here, Jerome Powell. He's going to be at the podium tomorrow, 10:30. So it's going to be interesting to see what he says. He's going to hopefully share some good news. I don't think so, though, everybody. I think it's going to be more about not cutting the rate, which is going to be very challenging for us. But anyway, we'll see what happens with it. So what I wanted to share with you a little bit today, because we're not even in market close yet today, the market has literally been sort of running sideways all day. And there was some downturn. The S&P 500, I believe the Dow, they were both down, somewhat today, may still be down already. And a lot of the stocks that I normally trade, specifically the tech sector, a lot of them are on the rundown. We also had this morning Walmart earnings, and Walmart got spanked today. I'm going to show you what that looks like, but Walmart did not have a very good earnings result. They actually came in less than what they were anticipated. So Target yesterday, Walmart today, both of them bringing the market down with them. But I wanted to share a couple things with you. These are my opinion, not financial advice, but I wanted to share a couple things with you. And number one is, if you are becoming or are an experienced investor or retail day trader or swing trader or options trader, then you already know or should be learning and should know about market rotation. Now, some of you are probably thinking, what does that even mean? What do you mean market rotation? So what market rotation is basically at specific times of the year, people are moving their money around the market. The tech sector right now is part of one of those rotations where people are losing confidence in tech. There's a lot of news out there about AI and about a lot of spending. Companies are spending a lot of money on AI technology. And now they're saying maybe people shouldn't be spending as much money, or companies shouldn't be spending as much money on AI technology. And so there's a bit of a pullback in that entire sector. Look at Palantir. Look at NVIDIA. Okay. While this is a challenging month for us overall every year, August, September into October, there's also this pullback because of sentiment, market sentiment, and what's happening with the investment community. So what you need to do is you need to do some homework. You need to do your due diligence, and you need to understand, where does the market go when the tech sectors and other sectors, whether it's insurance, are in a rundown momentum. For example, have you looked at energy, the energy sector? Because potentially energy could be running up when tech sector is running down. Okay. Have you looked at retail, the retail sector? Retail could be running up while the tech sector or energy are running down. Utilities could be running up while the other ones are running down. So you have to really sort of understand that market movement, of money throughout the market and that rotation. And it's very important. A lot of people don't realize that, don't know about that. So I just want to throw that out there to you, because a lot of people, I know a lot of subscribers on here send me comments and are new and are learning. And that's awesome, right? You've got to start somewhere. You have to learn somewhere. I did, and I learned something new every day. But you also have to try to understand more about what's going on in the market, not just what's going on in the stocks you love to trade. Because if I lived within just my tech sector stocks I love to trade, APLD, BBAI, Palantir, AMD, right? Then there's a chance that I could miss a signal that rotation was taking place, and I literally could be buying into things the next day or the night before to set myself up, and not realizing the market rotation is taking place, and I shouldn't be buying there. I should be putting my money somewhere else. The second thing I wanted to talk about with you is, right now there's a lot of people that are just cash on the sidelines. And I totally understand that. I totally get that. I have cash on the sideline as well. I'm in specific things, but I try to always, by the end of the market day, get out and be clean so that I have the cash available to trade the next day. But some people are just sitting flat on the sidelines, waiting to get through the volatility of August into September, potentially October. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But one thing I can tell you is that there are many stocks out there, many stocks that you can place your money that are safe bets. They don't have the volatility or the movement like the stocks we love to trade, where we want to see it go up 20, 40, $50 per share. They stay pretty consistent, and they're good stocks, good companies that you can put your money in, buy those stocks, and then they're paying you dividends. And some stocks pay over $1 per share, $2 per share. There was one stock I saw the other day that paid something like $11 per share. And it's an expensive stock. But think about the return on your investment by being able to receive dividends on your stock while being in that corporation, that company. So something else to think about while you're deciding ultimately what to do with your money. And the last thing I want to share with you real quick, because there's really no update to give you on the market itself, except that we've been pretty much running flat today. But what I want to tell you is the reason why I believe the market's flat right now is because everyone is literally waiting for what I said, that Jerome Powell speech at 10:30 tomorrow, to see what happens with what decisions are going to be made about the Federal Reserve and about rates. So we kind of have to see what's going to happen with that. I do feel personally that we all should be cautious that tomorrow morning, even potentially tonight into tomorrow morning, there's a chance that the market is going to run down. The S&P 500 is going to run down. That's why I am playing right now in the SQQQ. because I believe there's a tremendous opportunity for the downside of the S&P 500, exactly the same as people buying puts when they buy options. It's the same idea, but you're buying shares directly. For me, I still own the shares. Even if they go down $5 a share, I still own the share. With options, if it goes up, if the S&P 500 runs up and the SQQQ runs down, I haven't lost anything. In an option, if it goes up and it should have been a call, and instead of going down where you bought a put, you're going to lose the whole thing. It's going to expire by the date of expiration. You lose all that money. So a little bit safer bet. Anyway, be cautious. Be careful out there. Make sure that you are only trading money that you have set aside for your trading. Don't use your mortgage payment, your car payment, your rent payment, insurance payment, or the money you need to put food on your table to feed you or your family. Make sure you're careful and you're wise. And always, always, always do your own homework and do your own diligence. Don't trust any YouTuber based on what they're sharing. It's always good. You're listening, you're hearing advice, just like you're listening to me. But never, never trust anybody. Trust yourself. Do your homework. Do your research. If it's your first time here, hey, thank you so much for being here. I would ask you to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Thank you so much. Cannot wait to see what this market does through the rest of the market day, into the night hours, into the early morning, and the opening bell tomorrow. Josh out. Peace.